I've been seeing the let them theory everywhere recently. The idea is basically if someone wants to do something, just let them. If they want to ignore you, let them. If they don't want to show up for you, let them. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized something. I don't think it's always that simple. If you've never heard the let them theory, it comes from a book by Mel Robbins. And the idea is actually really simple. The first part is let them, and that basically means accepting that you cannot control other people's thoughts, actions, or opinions. You stop trying to manage what other people do because that's something you cannot control anyway. And then it's the let me. So you focus on your own response, choices, and actions, and you take responsibility for what you can control, such as your reactions, decisions, and behavior. So that would be the book, right? So I think that sometimes we spend so much energy trying to understand people or trying to change how they act. And this let them idea basically is saying to stop forcing things, to just watch what people choose to do. People show who they are through their actions, and I think deep down we usually already know that. If someone really wants to be in your life, you will feel it. And you stop chasing explanation for things that are actually very clear. You stop wondering like why people do things and start like accepting what they did or what they said and everything. And I think that it's like you get to a point where you take what they've done, what they've said, and just like that is what shows you how they are and everything. But there is one part that I don't completely agree with, because sometimes the internet makes it sound like you should just stay quiet and move on from everything. But I think if someone is actually your friend or someone important in your life, I think you should tell them when something bothers you. People cannot read your mind, and I think sometimes we expect them to without even realizing it. I've, of course, done it. Sometimes friends genuinely don't realize they hurt you, don't realize that something is bothering you if you don't tell them. Sometimes a conversation can actually fix things. For example, imagine if you have a friend who constantly cancels plans with you. Everyone on the internet might say, let them. But I don't think that's always the first step. Because maybe your friend doesn't even realize how often they're doing it. Maybe they think it's not a big deal. And sometimes just saying, hey, it actually bothers me when this keeps happening, can change everything. I think real relationships deserve at least one honest conversation before you just decide to let them. But here's what the let them theory does make sense to me. If you've already told someone how you feel and they keep doing the same thing, that's when you start getting tired. When you feel like you're repeating yourself, when it starts to feel like your feelings don't matter, and you slowly realize that nothing is actually changing, you start wondering, am I the only person who cares about this? And at this point, letting them doesn't mean accepting their behavior. It just means letting them be their person they're choosing to be. And maybe that person just doesn't get access to you anymore. Even if it's sad, even if you want it to work, it's okay. You're doing things you don't like. So I think the real balance is speak up when something matters to you. But if someone shows you again and again that they don't care, let them be that person, just not in your life. I hope this video helped someone. It helped for me. So I wanted to make this video because I was like thinking about this, and there was something with a friend that was happening and everything. But I also want to say that maybe it's not that big of a deal. Like, I think it depends on like how much you value the friendship and how much you're willing to like have something bother you. Like, how important is the thing that's bothering you versus how important is this person to you. I know there is a limit to that, obviously, like depends on the things. But if it's not that important and you actually care about the person and then I think you shouldn't let whatever it's bothering you let it ruin the friendship, because maybe it's not that important. Like, maybe, if you see from another perspective, maybe it's not that deep. But if it is that deep and it bothers you a lot and they keep doing it and they don't have any regard for your feelings, then I would say it's totally fine to like cut someone off. I also like you get to a point in your life where maybe things are more important than people. You don't want to be treated even if it's not that deep, you don't want to be treated that way, and that it's fine too. Even if it's not that important, it's okay to cut that person off your life. You don't need to put up with behaviors you don't want to, and that is okay too. You just have to see what is more important to you. um and I think that's it. Yeah. Thank you for listening.